Rorschach's Journal, May 15th, 2019. Dan and Jake failed to record an intro for this week's issue. Sound guy assumes the mantle. These so-called super sons reek of laziness and incompetence. The smell is reminiscent of overcooked human bean juice. Why does society reward indolence? In an ideal world, perhaps Dan and Jake are hard at work contacting a special guest for a future issue. Good joke. Everybody laugh. Play Super Sons theme.
Welcome to Super Sons. I know it's a little different because we don't have an intro, but
no, it's cool. You know, sound guy doesn't need to get any respect or anything. I guess we'll keep going. We'll keep going.
The Flash is quite a confusing topic.
Yeah, there's a lot of time stuff. You guys know about time stuff? Yeah, time stuff in secret babies that get stolen from we'll get to it.
Wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey.
Oh, and baby and
stuff?
Nurses stealing babies for criminal families.
I'm wearing a Doctor Who shirt, so probably a good level of commitment for me on this episode.
Lots of stuff is happening right now.
Yeah, so I am in my new apartment, which is awesome. This is the first recording from the Super Sons lair, which is my office. I get told a lot that I can't call it the Super Sons lair.
Who tells you that?
Witch.
The witch?
Yeah.
Which is funny because her name is Scarlet, and we're going to be talking about Scarlet Speedsters.
Yeah, not the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah,
Except she's a badass. Nope, the other one. What's the other one?
Okay, well...
Endgame.
And I am... when this goes live, I'm going to be in the middle of my last finals ever.
Yeah. So basically, our past two episodes have been Jake and I run down to the bone. So... Hashtag unplugged, hashtag Nirvana unplugged, hashtag Plateau. Is that one of the songs on Unplugged? You don't listen to Nirvana, never mind. I just made a fucking Nirvana pun, I guess. Alright, sorry. I'm like...
I don't... Why? Why go through all of this? My God, dude, there's something fucking wrong with you.
It was not like that. That wasn't planned. That just happened.
Okay. Okay. So, guys, we're gonna give an explanation of the various speedsters that you'll see in this because there's a lot of them. I also wrote down a bunch of other ones that Dan doesn't want to talk about because there's so many.
They're irrelevant to the stories,
and we'll also going over the naming conventions of the Reverse Flash, because that's not... we'll get into it.
So,
and I wrote another thing that we don't actually have to talk about, and that's about Wally's suits.
Okay, so today is about the Flash, clearly. Most of you probably know the Flash from the CW show, who is Barry Allen, but if you haven't figured it out by now, this show's favorite Flash, and the Flash we will stick by, is Wally West.
Wally.
So we will cover these.
We also really like the Disney movie, the Disney Pixar movie.
Yeah, very, very different Wally. So we'll switch back and forth explaining these. So I will I'll go first. Jay Garrick, the first Flash from the Golden Age. He's got the jeans, red shirt, and helmet. He got a start in the 40s as a college athlete who got his powers from heavy water vapors. His original...
Yeah, it was a weird lab experiment.
His original universe is that of Earth 2. Like most Golden Age heroes, he is a founding member of the JSA, the Justice Society of America, which we have gone over in another episode.
All right, Jesse Chambers, known as Jesse Quick, another Golden Age speedster, and the former husband of the original Liberty Bell, father to Jesse Quick, who is also known as Liberty Bell. This is the second Liberty Bell.
You called Johnny Jesse.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, it's Johnny Chambers, but known as Johnny Quick. It's okay. Just continue.
It's been a long day, and they're both in there. Okay. So, do you want me to restart? You want me to talk more about that?
Johnny Chambers, known as Johnny Quick, another Golden Age speedster and former husband to Liberty Bell and father to Jesse Quick, Liberty Bell 2. He connects to a Speed Force through a mathematical formula used as a mantra of, you do this.
3 times 2, parentheses, 9yx, parentheses, close 4a. Which, I don't know if that I don't know about math. It's been a long time since I did math. I mean, I'm very good at math, but that's a long time.
Yeah, I'm not good at math because of my...
he's not to be confused with the evil Johnny Quick of Earth 3.
Yeah.
Which, if you know Flash mainly through CW, Earth 3 and for the TV universe, Earth 3 and Earth 2 are switched. It's weird.
Yeah, let's not try to confuse them anymore. Let's just try to keep it.
Oh no, they're going to get way more confused.
So you can cover the next one, so you can do your favorite Flash.
Yeah. All right. So Max Mercury is also a Golden Age. He's a more obscure Golden Age speedster who it's hard to explain this, but the canonical way is he got his powers from Native American shamans as far back as the 1830s, where he was working for the U.S. military. And now lives in the modern day because everyone with the Speed Force has weird aging. And he was originally known as Quicksilver, but they, had to change it because of, the X-Men character / Avengers character. You know the guy.
Here we go. I don't want to say that I hate Barry Allen, but I kind of...
He's bland.
Barry Allen, the Silver Age Flash, and best known Flash to newer readers and fans of the Flash television show on the CW. And he married Iris West and his second wife, who isn't as important. Jake really wants to talk about his second wife and had a secret twin brother named Malcolm Fawn, a.k.a. Cobalt Blue, the man who is the ancestor to Professor Zoom and Inertia and weirdly Bart. Basically, the Flash is super confusing. The only one you're going to need to know about for this show is Wally West.
And Jay Garrick.
Yeah. Basically, Barry Allen's super confusing, and if you know him from the CW, just stick with that.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a few family changes which we'll touch on, but we're not going to go in deep. Okay. Wally West, this podcast personal favorite, and the nephew of Barry Allen, and he's also the original Flash, Kid Flash. Might be. It's been a long week. And it's only Wednesday. Who took up the title of Flash after his uncle's death in Crisis on Infinite Earths. And he's also the fastest.
Basically, Barry saved the universe, but he went away for a while. Jesse Quick, a.k.a. Liberty Bell 2, is a speedster using her father's mantra, the math we talked about earlier, and she is the only one able to fly thanks to the Speed Force, while she is only half as fast as the other Flashes. She also has super strength from her mother. She, in the New Earth continuity, is married to Rick Tyler, the second Hour Man.
Bart Allen is Barry Allen's grandson. And he's had multiple names his original name was Impulse, it's currently Impulse. He also went by Kid Flash, and then the Flash, and then he was murdered, and then he came back as Kid Flash again. Weird shit. So there's a lot of things dealing with the future. He's from the future. He's the son of Bart Allen's son Don, who is one part of the original Tornado Twins with his sister Dawn, and who had a child who had Bart with Melanie Thawne, who's actually a descendant of Malcolm and Eobard. So,
to sum that up, basically Barry Allen is Barry's grandson from the future. He came back.
But he's also a descendant of Barry's brother.
Time travel. Dawn and Don, the OG Tornado Twins, and as far as Flash stories go, neither is Dawn's daughter. Basically,
they're not important. They're not important.
Yeah, Don and Dawn are not important. Iris and Jay West are Wally's children, who were known as the Tornado Twins.
But also, Dawn has a daughter named Jenny Ognatz, known better to people as XS, which most of the people who know from the Flash TV show is Nora Allen, who in that show is Iris and Barry's daughter, but not in the comic books. She's not that important.
I actually didn't know that.
Unless you're talking about Legion of Superheroes, which she is a member of in the reboot universe.
This may be our most convoluted episode.
Yes. But like in the TV show where she's mixed race in the comic books.
Iris and Jay West are Wally's children, known as the Tornado Twins. They don't have super speed. We'll get to them eventually because I do want to cover a story with them.
They're great.
John Fox is from the future. Wally West III is the current Kid Flash. He's New 52.
Wallace.
We'll talk about him when we cover his run in Teen Titans.
One important thing about him is, because it's going to come up later, he's the son of Daniel West, the Reverse Flash. All right, so let me explain the title of Reverse Flash.
Try to be as simple as possible.
I am. So there have been multiple Reverse Flashes, but none of them. It's never been any of their code names except for Daniel's. So the original Reverse Flash was the rival, who is Edward Claris, a former professor of Jay Garrick. The second is probably the most known, and that's Professor Zoom, aka Eobard Thawne, who is a crazy fanboy. Did I say fanboy? Fuck. Fanboy of Barry Allen. And most of you guys know him from the CW, and this is why we're having this lesson. And then the third being Hunter Zolomon, also known as Zoom, is a criminal profiler and the friend of Wally West. And you know him more for some people probably know him in his little black gimp suit. You know, that one. That gimp suit in the CW show. But he's got different motivations. We'll get into that. And the fourth being Inertia/Kid Zoom, known as Thaddeus Thawne, is a clone of Bart Allen. And he's also the architect of Bart's death at the hands of the Rogues during his short tenure as the Flash. The last man to take up the title is, of course, Daniel West, who is the only one to have the specific code name of the Reverse Flash.
He is the coolest looking. He's in the New 52, and he has
he's got cool, metal shrapnel.
Yeah, like that tar looking stuff over him. Okay, yeah. But now we're going to get to our stories. If you have any more questions about the Flash, feel free to reach out to us on Twitter, shoot us an email. If you know me on any Discord or Jake on any Discord, just reach out to us.
Yeah, I'm on the Discord now, guys. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, 2019. Jake is on social media. So we have two stories today, both of which made me way too emotional on the train into work in the morning. So first up is The Flash, The Return of Barry Allen, and the second is The Flash, Blitz.
One second.
Greg LaRocca, who did the pencils for Wade's run, he's still doing art, right?
I'm not sure, but let's get into this creative team. So the first story is The Flash, The Return of Barry Allen, and we're covering it from issue 73, which is the story right before the actual story takes place, up to the end of the story on issue 79. The writer is Mark Waid, pencils by Greg LaRocca.
LaRocca.
Did I pronounce that right?
Yeah.
Okay. And inks by Roy Richardson, which, I mean, I couldn't fuck that up. Colorist Matt Hollingsworth, who I think we've talked about before. Mm-hmm. And letterer Tim Harkins.
Let me read the first issue because I really want to read your notes. So Jake wrote,
but I wanted to read that. I even highlighted it and everything.
All right, you read it because Jake got the longer story this week because I've had zero time to do anything. And his notes are always way funnier.
Yeah. Okay, so issue 73, One Perfect Gift, is a Christmas issue, and it's the issue that kind of leads into the story. Well, there's another story where Barry Allen does come back, but whatever. It doesn't matter. So, in this Christmas issue, The Flash, Wally West, and his then-girlfriend, Linda Park... Okay, what the fuck was I writing? Bleh. Okay, Linda Park are having Christmas with Jay, the First Flash, and Joan Garrick. And they're having a nice time before Wally annoys the hell out of Joan by trying to be helpful. And then she sends the both of them out to do some heroing. They do their hero stuff, stuff like that. What were you going to say, Dan? You want to say something?
Joan is Jay's wife. We didn't go over that. But you can tell by
Joan Garrick. But I said Joan Garrick.
She's great. She is great.
She's like the mother figure to the entire Flash family. She's lovely. And if you read the Earth 2 book, you probably got kind of sad like I did.
All right, let's keep going.
Okay, so they do their hero stuff, and they come back for the night, and they're spending it with their loved ones. Wally gets a baseball glove, and then it ends with a knock on the door, and it's a man claiming to be Barry Allen. He's back. He's just back, and everyone's like, oh, well. So, but like I mentioned before, a few issues prior, Barry was up again. But what I didn't explain was how he showed up. So he shows up naked in an alleyway, as most uncles do who show up on Christmas unannounced are prone to do.
Issue 2, Trust. Wally is skeptic about the return of Barry Allen and gives us a glimpse into how he became the Flash when his Uncle Barry died. Wally is not sure that this is Barry at all, so he calls Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, who was Barry's best friend, would you say?
Yeah. So Hal Jordan had two best friends, Barry and I'd say Ollie's more of his best friend.
Yeah, Ollie is Green Arrow.
Green Arrow.
He gives his old friend a vetting as Barry explains who he is and how he has amnesia. And Hal gives Wally the big green thumbs up, saying he and the Ring believe it is really him. Jordan leaves, and Barry notices the now reformed Pied Piper walking down the street and just straight up jumps him. He's grabs him, and Wally has to stop him from hurting the former villain turned friend. It turns out Piper was there to tip Wally off about a crime. So Wally, without thinking about how Barry will react, changes into the Flash costume. Fun fact, Barry does not know that Wally has taken up the mantle.
But also, I want to talk about his suit for a second because it's that Wally's had a lot of suits, but this is the first suit that had the triangular lightning bolt belt that turns into a V, and this one's metallic and it's awesome, and it's got the white out eyes.
Oh yeah, Barry comments on the eyes, which is cool. I actually want to talk about that line. He talks about how the eyes don't let them connect with people, and I never really thought about that, and I kind of like the idea of heroes like the Flash who loves people and does everything he can to have a connection with them, not having the eye thing, while someone like Batman has them because he's awful. The Flashes go to protect Keystone City's biggest mob boss because there's a hit out for him. They stop it, but Barry vanishes and goes and visits the grave of Iris West, his former wife, who has died since he left.
And ignores his second wife, who he was married to very briefly before he died, because she died at the hands of Professor Zoom. And he kills Zoom.
Oh. Now I get it.
Okay, I thought you cut out for a second because you just stopped making a noise. But yeah, no, that's explained briefly in the first issue of our next story.
Okay, so Wally finally accepts it because of what he sees.
Yeah, he sees his uncle visiting his aunt. Okay, so Wally, Barry, and Jay are stopping some high-tech crooks. Barry gets some recognition from some, civilians.
This is issue 3, running behind. Continue.
Yes, it is. Afterwards, Wally talks to Linda, and Wally's kind of a little shaken. He doesn't know if there's really a place for him as the Flash, because he doesn't really get the recognition he feels like he should if he's to be the main hero of his city. But
still.
Anyway. So Wally goes to help Jay look for Barry, and they find him in the alley that he showed up in. And the art hints at something in the trash, but we'll get to that later. They'll go to a warehouse, and they fight those guys from earlier, who now have a pretty neat tank, guys. Dan, you see that tank?
Yeah, it's only got one shot.
I know, but it's pretty neat.
It's a neat tank. They look like super high tech bad guys from like
a G.I. Joe toy set.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a bunch of shit happens. They kind of fired off, and Wally gets trapped into a bunch of rubble, and one of the guys in the tank yells to let everybody know that he killed the Flash, and then Barry beats the shit out of him, and he yells something at him as Wally stops him. And later in the issue, Wally reflects on what his uncle actually said, and his uncle was just shouting, "I am the Flash," not giving a shit that Wally was trapped.
Big yikes.
Yeah.
Issue 4, Identity Crisis, but not that Identity Crisis. Wally reflects.
Thank God.
Wally. Oh, we're gonna have to cover that one day. Wally reflects.
Well, we'll cover that with the story that kind of makes up for that.
Wally reflects on his role as the Flash, wondering if he has the rights to make them to have the mantle, as he is treated as a child by Jay, who refers to him as Junior, and because of what Barry said, and because Wally asserts throughout the story that Barry and Jay are faster than him. Jay goes to visit both Johnny Quick and Max Mercury to enlist them in helping him with something. Wally and Barry go out doing hero stuff and get caught in a trap, but Barry leaves Wally in the trap. Wally manages to vibrate out as he realizes he was betrayed by his uncle. He was never able to vibrate like that through walls because that was Barry's specialty.
Most of the time when Wally tries to vibrate through something, it ends up exploding.
At the moment, he's not fast enough, and the Speed Force affected him differently, having grown up with it, so he doesn't have the same powers that Barry does. Once Wally gets home in time to see Barry on TV, declaring that Wally is dead, Wally trashes his suit and is completely shaken by his mentor's changed personality.
Which part is this now? What number is this? Okay, 5?
Yes, 5.
5. Part 5. Suicide Run. So while he's sulking in his apartment, but he still hasn't revealed to the world that he's alive, and he's just watching his on TV, his mentor fighting a big Green Lantern, who's his best friend. And Wally decides, fuck it, I can't deal with this, and he hits the streets. Elsewhere, Barry has decided to terrorize the entire city, and it catches up with what? I'm fucking giggling.
I'm back, bitches. Time to terrorize the city.
Pretty much.
Get in, losers. We're going to cause havoc.
And he goes through a construction site and he just starts vibrating the entire structure, causing people to fall. And the Golden Age speedsters decide they gotta save everybody, and they decide to confront Barry. Elsewhere, Wally goes to the alley where Barry came back, and he finds a man holding a book. And he sees what the book is, and it turns out it's a biography about his uncle. It's titled The Life of Barry Allen.
Uh-oh.
And he makes this discovery when he goes through the book and decides to jump back into action as the construction site blows up and Wally's just left holding Jay's helmet.
Episode 6. Issue 6. Blitzkrieg. As Wally has claimed in the story numerous times, he's not fast enough. So he tries to gain speed to fight Barry by figuring out how the other speedsters do it. He uses Johnny's mantra, the math stuff, to Max's zen, but nothing helps him, especially not Max calling him out, as Max claims that Wally is not actually much faster than he believes. Oh, that he is actually faster than Wally believes.
I didn't even write that wrong. You just read it wrong.
Yeah, I've been trying to catch myself. That he's holding himself back out of fear of overshadowing his uncle's memory. Basically, Wally hasn't been living to his full potential just because he doesn't want to, erase his uncle's legacy, which is sad.
For a long time, I'm pretty sure, I can't remember correctly, but he changed his costume to differentiate himself from his uncle.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. A bunch of stuff.
Barry lets a bunch of prisoners out and arms them so they they can fight the Golden Age speedsters, and his suit is completely ruined. So he races to the Flash Museum for a fresh suit.
Wait, what did you just say?
He races to the Flash Museum for a fresh suit?
You said museum, not museum.
Museum?
Museum.
Oh, I guess I say it weird. There he's met by Wally, who throws him a ring containing the suit of Professor Zoom. As it turns out, it was never Barry, and instead Eobard Thawne, Professor Zoom, which Wally discovered by reading the biography about his uncle.
Yeah, because, like the dweeby fucking is, Eobard had his little name in it. It's like, oh, property of Eobard Thawne. Oh,
what a fucking dweeb. Listen, a lot of bad guys get caught that way. Spoilers for a 5-year-old show, Breaking Bad.
And if you like a certain video game called Devil May Cry 5.
No. Do the next issue.
Fuck you. Okay, issue 7, part 7, The Once and Future Flash. The Flash and Professor Zoom, it kind of just goes over how Wally discovers how he did it, how he found out about Eobard, and they're kind of just fighting. And, so Wally discovers more. He learns that Eobard came back in time for the first time. This is the first time he's been in the present. And he came to meet Barry, but he didn't hit the right time, and so he decides to go. He's shaken, and he doesn't really remember who he is, and he goes to the Flash Museum and finds out that he becomes the Reverse Flash and that he dies at the hands of Barry Allen. So, the creepy little boy that he is, he decides, fuck it, I'm going to become the Reverse Flash and ruin Barry Allen's memory by pretending to be him,
He's a bitch.
Yeah. So he decides to ruin Barry's memory among the twin cities of Central and Keystone. I should realize. Never mind. I'll bring it up later. During their fight, Hal Jordan, the Golden Age speedsters, come in to help, but they don't really do much. And Jay gets really hurt, and he ends up in the hospital with a broken leg. And while he explains his findings, he shows the guys the book, and they're like, wait, who wrote this? And then they're real surprised, and we'll find that out later because, things happen. But anyway, So Wally explains that it's Eobard's first trip to the past, and he shows, everything. And then, as they're talking on the TV, they're watching Linda's news report. And Zoom comes in, threatens to kill Linda until Wally comes in and saves her. And then Eobard threatens to ruin Barry's memory. He doesn't really say anything specific, does he?
No.
He just says, I'm going to ruin his memory. I was like reading that page repeatedly. I'm like, wait, he just says he's going to ruin his memory. And then they race to the Flash Museum, but Wally just can't keep up. So Wally just finally has to accept that to go to his full speed, he has to acknowledge that he is actually afraid of overshadowing his uncle. So he pushes beyond that limit, becoming the fastest man alive. Truly, he's without match. And he beats the shit out of Professor Zoom with relative ease. And Wally decides to scare him into retreating to the future by convincing Eobard that he's going to use the Wally will use the cosmic treadmill to go into the future and kill Eobard as a baby, which terrifies him. So he races after him. Turns out Wally didn't actually use the cosmic treadmill. He just kind of ran on it and then went super fast, faster than Zoom could see, and he just hides in the corner of the room. It's like, haha, got him.
Good prank, bro.
Gotcha. So, he just leaves. And while he explains to everybody that Eobard will have no memory of this trip because of how distraught he was and the problems with time travel. And later in the issue, Wally is just full of hope. And him and Linda tossed the biography off a bridge after revealing that the book was written by his dead Aunt Iris and that the book was published in 1997, 4 years after this story takes place. So, she's going to be back.
Da-na-na.
Also, something we didn't mention in the story is that I forgot to type up in the biography part because it kind of goes away. But eventually, but whatever. So at this point in time, Wally has a public identity. Everyone knows he's the Flash.
Mm-hmm. And that's very important in the next story.
It is important in the next story. So,
Wait, first up, anyone who thinks that Superman can beat the Flash is a bitch. Sorry, I've literally just been sitting here for the past 30 minutes stewing on that. Just because, being the Flash is the most OP superpower. You can vibrate your hand and then just rip out somebody's heart.
Oh, no, yeah, no. It's established that they can go so fast and then punch somebody that they can hit them across continents.
Yeah, other than Superboy Prime punching time so hard that it snapped. Okay, so, story 2.
Yeah.
The Flash, Blitz. Written by Jeff Johns. You may have heard similar stories about Jeff Johns.
Who?
Wait,
who is this?
The person we've covered in almost every episode.
Yeah, welcome back to the Jeff Johns podcast, everybody.
Pencils by Scott Collins, inks by Doug Hazelwood, colors by James Sinclair, and letterer Kurt Hathaway. Issue 1, Rogue Profile.
Well, hold on. I want to go at least 4 episodes without talking about Jeff Johns.
All right, well then have him stop writing all the best books that have ever happened.
True.
I was thinking about this when I walked off the train after, being very emotional after reading the story. I was like, holy shit, Jeff Johns has never really written one of these characters poorly. He's had such a good grasp on.
He wrote the flat Wally West for a long time.
Yeah, Jeff Johns.
There's 2 real the best eras of Wally West, of Flash comics in general, are the Mark Waid Wally West and the Jeff Johns Wally West.
So literally both the biggest stories we're covering right now. So issue 1, Rogue Profile, Zoom. The issue opens with Hunter Zolomon sitting in a hospital bed after trying to use the cosmic treadmill to go back in time. Hunter Zolomon is a friend of Wally West, the Flash, who had his back broken by Grodd, correct?
Yeah.
So we learn a little...
monkey boy.
He's an ape.
He's a gorilla, Dan.
Isn't that different than... Oh, never mind. We learn his tragic backstory, which is actually framed really cool, because it starts off with him like talking about how he can profile criminals and all that kind of stuff. And I never really knew Hunter's backstory before this, but...
yeah, I feel like yours was probably your first exposure to the character was pretty much the gimp suit, right?
Yeah. So we learned,
which he doesn't wear the gimp suit. He wears the classic yellow and red.
Yeah. So,
but he's got like glass eyes.
We learned that his mother and father didn't really speak to each other. And one day when he's coming home before he goes to college, or he's coming home from college, his father is a serial killer, and he killed 6 girls, and then his mother found out, and then he killed her. But he died in a police shootout. So he dedicated the rest of his life to becoming a criminal profiler because he didn't catch that. Like, he wasn't smart enough to know.
Yeah, he wanted to know how to stop people like his father.
So he became a criminal profiler and met the love of his life, and her father, who was their professor, and he was like Hunter's biggest role model. So they are working for the police, and they go to stop this. They are specialized in super villains and like costume criminals. So they go to stop this clown villain who isn't the Joker. I can't remember what his name is.
I think it's just the clown.
Yeah, the clown. And basically he's like, yeah, his MO, like, he doesn't have a gun. He's not going to have a gun. Guys, I promise he's not going to have a gun. He did.
You guys can see where that goes.
He did. I wish I could do a Ron Howard impression because that would be really good. He didn't have a gun. Zoom said he didn't have a gun. He did. So they get in there, and the clown kills his father-in-law.
Right in the fucking face.
Yeah, he murders him. And then his wife leaves him because she blames him, and he's basically this broken person. And then he has his spine broken and he can't walk, and he's laying in the hospital.
He gets fired from the FBI and has to go take a job at Keystone Police.
And basically, he wants Flash to go back in time to fix his life, correct?
I think he just wants him to fix his back.
Yeah, so the Flash refuses because he doesn't do that. So Hunter tried to use the cosmic treadmill to do it himself, and he basically cratered the Flash Museum. The Flash Museum gets destroyed as much as Xavier's Mansion, is something I'm really catching up on here. Just a bad target.
Sometimes.
Every time I've seen it, it's destroyed. So we find out that has given him superpowers, and he becomes Zoom.
Yeah, he gives the explanation of who else could he become to take down the Flash.
Yeah, he fits the profile.
It's interesting what he wants to become, why he wants to become Zoom.
Yeah, he basically just wants to make Wally a better hero, doesn't he?
Yeah, he wants him to feel tragedy. Which, guys, if you think tragedy makes a character a good hero, you're wrong. Like, Barry Allen his mom didn't need to die. Like, that's a relatively new concept.
Mm-hmm. So I wanted you to do issue 2 because I know how much you liked it.
Yeah. So,
issue 2 is Rush.
Issue 2 Rush. Wally gives a brief backstory on how he became the Flash. We get to see the family dynamics of the Flash family. And they're having a nice little get together. Everyone's there. Bart, minus Jessie because she's busy being a workaholic.
They say it's a family meeting. Like, how cool is that?
Yeah, no. I mean, of course it's a family meeting. Wally didn't love it. His parents were pieces of shit. He really only had his aunt, who is there. She is back. She is alive. And so there's Jay, Joan, Iris, Bart, Linda, and Jessie was supposed to be there, but she was working. But Wally and Linda had a big announcement to say, and it was that they were expecting twins. And Zoom starts snapping his fingers, causing sonic booms, which we'll get into later because it doesn't make sense. So it screws up the day by attacking construction sites. He shows up and he kidnaps Linda.
Yeah.
Well, tries to kidnap Linda.
I just want to talk about this issue for 1 second because I think something that I really liked about the Flash family is that they feel like an actual family. Like, Bruce keeps everyone at arm's length, and that sucks, but Jay and Joan are raising Bart because he doesn't have his family in their time.
Which is crazy because his grandmother is there. He calls her grandma.
Yeah, but like Jay and Joan are good.
Bart also was raised for a short time by Max Mercury.
But they're
also, there's a dynamic between Wally and Bart that's interesting. Like, Wally kind of doesn't acknowledge Bart as anything other than like kind of annoying. Well, he treats him like a younger cousin. I don't think he can relate to him, and he doesn't want him to get hurt. So instead of being nice to him, he pushes him away. Yeah, Wally doesn't know how to deal with kids until he has his own.
Yeah, but I just think the family dynamic here is awesome because they feel like an actual family. Like they're having like a family get together where they're making food and everyone's together. It's just
it's really nice, and we got that in the last story too. Like,
yeah, it just feels. It makes me happy. Like it makes me a lot happier than the Bat family because they don't get as much time to shine.
Yeah. Their patriarch isn't the Flash family's patriarch isn't a kind of cold bad man.
So issue 3, Into the Fast Lane. Bart jumps in to protect Linda from Zoom, who does win, but it's cool to see Bart literally throw his costume on and jump in as fast as he can. Zoom reveals that he has Linda to Jay and Wally, who have been trying to fix the mess he's been causing around the city. Zoom is way too fast for Wally, and he's entirely outmatched. Zoom is trying...
And let's note that Wally can move at the speed of light.
Yeah, and Zoom is just doing laps around him. Zoom is trying to cause Wally pain to make him better, so he's trying to make him better.
And we're willing to take the risks, like breaking time.
Sorry, we just got an email about a huge guest.
Oh, that guy?
Yeah. So
the one we talked about yesterday?
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
So, sorry guys, you'll see that in the future. Zoom hurts Linda. He wants to make Wally feel the pain that he's felt.
With another snap.
And the entire time, you keep seeing these cracks in time, like visions of other things that Zoom is seeing, like these red breaks in time. Zoom reveals that he is Hunter Zolomon, and this part is kind of really sad, and Linda loses the children. And in my notes here exactly is Zoom is trying to teach Wally to be a better hero, but Zoom is just a bitch.
Yeah,
and so that made like I didn't think I was going to be that emotional about the Flash, but here we are, 2019.
There's a reason why I like Wally West.
All right, Jake, take it away. Last issue.
Issue 4, The Final Race. Zoom's goal is to break Wally, and step 2 is to get revenge to reverse his origin from Wally's. Zoom sees his ex-wife in like one of the cracks, and he hears his name. Yeah, his name, right? I mean, whatever. So Jay explains how they kind of go back. The Flash family get a little meet up. They're trying to figure out how to win, and Jay has a theory that Zoom isn't because they're not faster than him, which doesn't make sense. And turns out Zoom has sidestepped time, and he like exists in this other like track of time. So he's not moving super fast. he's not connected to the Speed Force. Like, the team tried to siphon, like, the guys tried to siphon off all the power from him, which they can do by running in circles around him. It didn't work. They did that last issue. Like, Wally couldn't keep up with him even after Bart and Jay gave Wally their speed to add to his, because the Speed Force is really interesting. It's like math.
Yeah, so Zoom exists outside of that. Like, he just has unlimited speed.
No, it's not even speed.
Yeah, he's just...
He moves outside of time, so it mimics speed, but he's just going at a different... I guess it's more of a frequency thing.
Whatever, he's just a bitch.
But anyway, so every time he runs... It's like a rubber band effect, and it screws things up. It like breaks things. It does all this shit. But then one of the police officers decided he has to profile the profiler to figure out, because no one knows where he went. And it turns out Zoom returns to the scene where his father-in-law was shot, and his biggest screw ups. So all the other the Flashes don't have the power to give him, but Jessie's there this time. So she forcefully gives him the rest of her powers. Like, she gives him all of it. She uses her mantra, and at the end of the story, it's revealed that she no longer has speed. Which leads to her becoming Liberty Bell later on, but anyway. So, he's finally fast enough, but he's still having some trouble. And he takes on Zoom, and Zoom's trying to make him to go back, and Zoom wants to go back, break Wally, all that kind of shit. And so, tries to get Wally to break. Wally puts Zoom's head in one of the cracks in time, and he forces him to watch his greatest mistake, and it slows Zoom down. And later on, Wally realizes Zoom's done, but Wally knows that his secret identity being revealed has only caused problems. It put Linda in danger. It puts everyone in danger. And he doesn't know what to do. So he decides it's time to stop being the Flash. And he goes to his uncle's grave in the Hero Monument. And when Barry died, his identity was revealed. And out of nowhere comes Barry. And he's like, yeah, I was just hanging out in the future. So it turns out that this has happened for a few characters. They'll have like a kind of a grace period before they die. And they'll go outside of where they're originally from. Like, Barry goes to the future for a few years. And that's kind of where he raises his kids. And then he comes back and he dies. Like, it's a convoluted thing. And that's actually where Iris apparently was. And that's how Bart is from the future and all that kind of shit. It's a lot.
Let's just get back to the story.
Yeah. So, this is important. Because Wally realizes, it was like, oh, I could have gone back in time and stopped this. And Barry's like, no, you're fine. You made the right call. I can't help you, but there is someone who can. And they go to Hal Jordan's monument, and Hal Jordan comes out as the Spectre, becomes his Green Lantern self, and Jordan offers him a deal as the Spectre to do this one thing. He can't bring back the kids, not in any pleasant way. And yeah, you can read that. And he erases the world's memories of Wally being the Flash. He erases anyone's memory of Barry being the Flash. Like, even Linda doesn't know Wally is the Flash. And for a short time, he does give up the title.
And he didn't even need to give up his marriage to get it.
Yep.
So you mentioned that Hal Jordan is the Spectre. So the Spectre is the spirit of vengeance.
Is a ghosty boy.
He's the spirit of vengeance, and Hal Jordan became him after the other story we talked about where he, straight up murdered all of his friends. We'll probably go over that. But honestly, both of these stories...
well, we did kind of go over that.
Yeah, both of these stories are essential. 100% read them. The Flash
I thought this was going to take a lot longer.
Yeah, this actually didn't take a super long time. I wanted to touch on some stuff about the Flash that we didn't mention, just like in general, because something that I've always loved about the Flash is the same reason I like Spider-Man, is because of his rogues. And Flash's rogues are literally called the Rogues Gallery.
That's their title. Like calling people villains rogue. Your Rogues Gallery started with the Flash.
Yeah. So like Heatwave, Captain Cold, the Top, people like that. Basically, they're not killers. Like most of the time.
Oh, they have a very strict code.
Yeah, and Flash, like, he doesn't want to do ill to them. Like, they have a bar in the city where they can all go, and like they can't use weapons or anything, and the Flash won't arrest them there. Like, even if he walks in, he's not going to arrest them or do anything to them.
Yeah,
so it's their safe.
But they will vacate if he shows up.
Yeah. But just in general, the Flash is just a genuinely good character. He's got all of that stuff with Superman. Like, even in these stories, you can see him like talking to kids and be like, well, maybe if you keep practicing, you can be just as fast as the Flash someday. I don't know. I think he's really inspiring.
I will also say that Barry really doesn't have much of a personality until he's brought back for Final Crisis. Like, Jeff Johns really creates more to that character. It just, I don't know.
Yeah, but Wally West is great. And like, even, I don't know, I feel like I loved reading the comics about the Flash because I never really have before. And he has such a heart. Like, I watched the CW show for a couple of years, and I don't know, he doesn't feel like the Flash. Like, he's not like inspiring kids. Like, he's not like...
Yeah, no, like if you go watch that and compare it to the Justice League show, which is Wally West.
Yes.
For everyone who's wondering. The animated universe is Wally West.
Also has one of the best Wally West, quote unquote, Wally West moments where Lex Luthor is in his body and he pulls the mask back and he's looking in the mirror and he goes, who the hell is this? Like, he was expecting it to be somebody big and Lex Luthor is like, wait, who the hell? But that's all we got.
And we weren't going to suggest... we couldn't really figure out a good intro.
We had one where it was Sonic talking to the Flash. And so there was only one good joke, and it was like, oh, wow, are you mad because you look like a little mutant in your movie? And then Sonic would say back, well, at least my movie's getting made. But we really didn't want to do the intro this week because we had to cover all of the Flash stuff.
And we even skipped over some of this stuff to make this easier. Yeah. Like, guys, it got a lot more convoluted than what we actually said.
Yeah, there's so much Flash stuff. We'll probably do more episodes about the Flash because I want to talk about Captain Cold because I really like it.
Yeah, these are the two. These two and everything that's going on in Rebirth are the biggest Wally West stuff. That when he does his skits.
So, we're actually interviewing Tim Seeley tomorrow. And you'll get that episode 2 weeks after this one. Jake and I, in 2019, are interviewing a huge comic book writer. I never thought we would do something like this in our life.
Oh, yeah. And we also have the thingy now, too.
Oh, we have a Patreon. So if you like the show, shoot. And you want to support us. Not even pay us money. If you want to help support the show, just so we can keep doing cool stuff and keep doing cooler stuff, it's not going to go to us. It goes right back to the show.
That's true.
Yeah, it literally all the money is funneled back into hosting and things like that, and getting cool artwork and
we're really just trying to make this the best show we can.
Yeah, we want to keep making the DC Comics world accessible to new people and new readers, and we're going to keep trying to do that the best we can. I feel like I had something else. Tim Seeley. We have some other cool stuff lined up. Oh, the Patreons. one of the two of our Patreon subscribers, one suggested Mr. Miracle. So we'll be covering one of the best comic books ever, in my opinion. Like, it's one of the ones that, like, it is a gut puncher. And then the other, one of our other Patreons, is a big fan of one of my favorite characters, Stephanie, Batgirl. So
oh god, she's so good.
Super excited to talk about her because
she's great.
We were in the room when they announced that she was coming back.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, I had a lot of emotions about that. Like, she is my fave.
Mm-hmm.
And that entire run of Batgirl is just incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, the issue where Supergirl and Batgirl are fighting zombies. Okay, vampires.
Yeah, it was vampires.
Sorry, it's been a long time.
I think I suggested us to read that on, but
we'll do that.
It was only like an issue. That was only like an issue.
Yeah, so we'll
be covering a Halloween issue.
We'll be covering those. No, we'll be covering those pretty soon, so we can get them out for them.
Yeah.
Next week. Find us
next time
at supersunspod.com. Shoot us at 5-star, subscribe, and share us with your friends.
Kisses.
Thank you for listening to our show. I know we really haven't talked about this kind of stuff, but I don't know, it's really fucking exciting to make this show with Jake and know that people listen to it. And
yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah. Thanks for sticking with us. XOXO Gossip Girl.
Bye.